in the middle of our stewardship season, where we're giving back to God with whatever resources we have available. And I am so excited that I kind of get to share how all of those things have impacted my life through the church here. So I do a lot of different things at this church, but you've probably seen me the most and for the longest in the choir loft up there, which I would like to add, I said this in first service too, that it is so great to hear my friends sing such beautiful music. It just makes my heart so happy, and I love them all so much. Just wanted to put that up there. So I've been working here as a student choir singer since about fall of 2019, and then about a year or so later, I started getting much more involved. I attended the Women of the Word Bible study when our beloved Connie Happel was still leading it. And I even spent some time at the men's prayer breakfast, courtesy of Mark Carls, who will invite you to just about anything. I am still waiting on that mustache, Mark. Later on, I began volunteering for children and youth activities. And in more recent times, I served a 3-month internship here at the church, which in that period, I became an official member of the church, an official Presbyterian, and Pastor Danny would like me to point out that that was of my own free will. It was not a requirement of my internship. I've also been able to organize some events for young adults here, and I've had the opportunity to lead a small choral ensemble with some of our choir friends that you may have seen us perform at a Narts night or in service here, and I'm happy to be able to do more of that as well. So you may be wondering what I am constantly wondering, which is, Cassidi, why do you do so much with yourself? And let me answer that for you. I always pinpoint, or when I think about sort of the start of where I started volunteering in this church, I go back to a time, summer of 2021, which, you know, we were still kind of in the middle of the pandemic, and all of us had our own things that we were struggling with during that time. And for me, I was stuck in a pretty deep well of depression and anxiety. And there are a multitude of factors that contributed to that. But one of the main ones was sort of a lack of a faith community in my life at the time. And I remember asking Vicky to meet over at Iron Bank. We got lunch, had coffee, and I spilled out all of my emotional guts all over to her, which she graciously listened. And that's where I decided to start giving my time to the church. All I knew at that point was that God was pushing me to generally be more involved. But what I didn't know at the time was the number of blessings that I was able to receive in return. Part of what makes all that I do so meaningful is the support and the care that I receive in a variety of ways. Every kind word spoken to me is life-giving. Every gift I receive, whether that's a Christmas card or food for when I'm sick, that reminds me that I'm cared for and that I'm loved. And I do not take any of it for granted. I say all of this because every individual who has graciously shown me kindness has impacted me in a way that I would never have expected a year or so ago. And in some cases, those bits of kindness reminded me why life is worth living. I don't say that lightly. I believe giving, even in the smallest of ways, is a serious matter to God. He takes what we give and turns it into abundance, and I stand as proof that that can be life-changing. I hope that in whatever way God is calling you to give, whether it's the smallest thing or just a simple kind word or a smile to a friend, you understand that He will bless it with abundance as a way to further His kingdom within you, within myself, and with our entire church family. Please join me in prayer. God, we thank you for the ability to gather together as one church family, Lord, as you call us to be stewards in your name, Jesus. I thank you for the kind words that we have all received whether it's from loved ones, those who are with us now, those who have left us, whether this past year or in years long ago. I thank you that those bits of wisdom, Lord, that they have all left with us, continues to be in our lives. Lord, that as we walk in the way that you walked, Jesus, we're learning to be more kind. We're learning that that is not a passive thing, that it is something we must actively do. And we know that whether it's sin or temptation or whatever will come that tries to stop us, Lord, it can be overcome by the kindness that you have showed us and you have taught us. Lord, as we continue to move forward in our lives together, remind us that we are saints. We are stewards of your good work, that our life would be nothing without you, Jesus, without the sacrifice that you made. I pray over our body, our community, Lord, for good health, for good mental and physical health, Lord, so that we may continue to do your work.